All right, we are here with the writer, director, producer of the wonderful independent film Clay Zombies, Mr. Jake Jolley. How you doing, Jake?
I'm doing awesome. Wonderful to be here. Thank you, Neil. Thank you, Caleb.
Our pleasure.
Thank you.
Thanks for you were very kind. You sent a copy of your film to us to take a look at on a Blu-ray, no less, which was really cool. We were kind of like, wow, he's got it going on. So anyway, thank you for sending that out. We had a good time watching the movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I love Blu-rays, love physical media. So that was, I know, most of the time it's focused on streaming today, but I was like, nope. I'm still gonna try to make the best Blu-ray I can, and I thought, dig the show, and I was like, maybe they'll dig it. See, send them a
Take a
copy,
chance.
and yeah, yeah.
So I mean, I guess first we have to figure out like how did you get to clay zombies? I mean, we Romero has slow walking what we call shamblers on the show sometimes. We've got berserkers and like 28 days later. You've got thinking zombies. You've got zombies falling in love and warm bodies. How did you get to clay zombies?
Well, I love the genre, always have. I remember when I first saw Night of the Living Dead as a kid, it was like, I didn't think I liked horror movies. But then when I saw that and someone said, oh, that's a great horror movie, I was like, wait, that's a horror movie? Like, it had really good characters, and I loved the story, and I was hooked. I was still scared, but it was kind of opened my eyes to, how different genres and unique takes on horror. Like, I used to think it's Bela Lugosi with the cape or whatever, and which is still great, but it was kind of eye opening. But just continue to love the genre. Someone showed me Dawn of the Dead later on in life, and about that time, Walking Dead came out, and I was thinking, why doesn't anybody ever talk about their pets?
Okay.
I mean, I get it kind of now where, it's, I guess it's, you're not supposed to work with animals or kids on sets, so it kind of makes sense now. But then I was thinking, nobody ever like, oh yeah, let's go back for my dog before we go cross country and try to escape the apocalypse. They're just like, let's go. And so I was thinking, I love the Romero zombies, I love the Shamblers, but I was like, well, I'm going to make a zombie movie where someone tries to go after their pet. Like, that, I'd love that story. Someone wants to save their dog or, whatever. And I started reaching out to makeup artists to see how much it cost to put makeup on extras, and it was astronomical. So I said, I had read Robert Rodriguez's book, Rebel Without a Crew, and he says in it, creative your way out of not having money. Just throw creativity at it. And I thought, why not do stop motion? Clay's not that expensive. I love the Ray Harryhausen films, where they're fighting the skeletons and stuff. So like, I'll try that. So that's kind of where the idea came from.
Wow.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome. That still seems like I mean, granted, you're putting all the work in your hands of having to create the clay zombies and do all the stop motion that versus someone else putting makeup on a bunch of extras and telling them to shamble. But good for you, because now that's what sets the movie apart from everything else out there.
Yeah.
So I'm just curious, what else made you as a genre lover? Like, what other films are in your bookcase, that you have on the VHS for the physical media? Like, what created Jake Jolley, the genre lover?
Well, I got to give my heart out to The Burbs. That is like one of my go-to comfort movies.
Yes,
Neil just gave you a mental fist
I
pump.
did.
Yes. I mean, I absolutely love it. Like I've said, any Romero zombie movie, I love it. Even the ones people hate on. I still love Diary of the Dead and even Survival of the Dead. But yeah, growing up, I love Silver Bullet.
Great one.
Nice.
I love horror that has heart and characters that you care about so much that you almost forget it's going to be a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If we can count Gremlins, you almost kind of forget that's going to be a horror movie. I don't know. It might be a stretch, but and if not horror related, I really loved Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Better Off Dead, and that's kind of what ended up influenced me to reach out to my favorite actress, Diane Franklin, which we might get to later. But
Yes.
that's some of the other movies.
That's awesome.
No, that's great. That's
The
excellent.
Burbs, baby, the Burbs.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, actually, Silver Bullet. I'll give you one of those too.
Gremlins too, which we've talked about before on the show. So
I read the book Silver Bullet again for this show. First book I read in years. So
nice. So what was harder then, filming actors or the claymation creating the zombies?
The cool thing about getting to work with actors is you guys, well, you get to feed off their energy too. I mean, it'd be pretty late in the day, and when you're an indie filmmaker like me, and you have people either, a lot of times helping out of the kindness of their heart or just because they want acting opportunity, you're like, I don't really want to ask anyone to do too much because they're already helping me out by being in my independent film. So, it would be trying to do lights, make sure all the props are out, and I'm sure I would have ran out of energy, but because I'm with these actors doing their best and with a great crew, you get this energy and you can keep going. With the stop motion, it kind of gets a little bit more lonely, and it's like sheer force of will. You're just kind of alone in a room taking pictures. It's like Tiff from Fire Tiger teased me about that later, where she's like, everybody's experiencing these great life events after they filmed, and you're just alone taking pictures. And as much as I love doing stop motion, there's a harsh amount of truth to that.
wow, she has a good point there, probably.
Yeah.
Yep. How long of a period was the filming?
So it's kind of. I'll try to make this succinct because I think I bore people sometimes. But I made the first short in 2016 and ran it in festivals for a year and met a bunch of people, actors and stuff, because I didn't know anybody. I didn't even know how camera worked. And after a year of going to festivals and meeting people who didn't necessarily think the short was the best thing ever, they at least thought it was interesting and funny. So I met a bunch of actors and other people I could work with. And then in 2018 I made another short. And everybody's like, let's make a movie. This is fun. And I was like, okay. So in 2019, we started filming the movie. And because of COVID, I was like, I don't have enough money to participate in the COVID regulations, so I'm just going to edit this and polish it up. And then because I was kind of scared and thought the world might end, I was like, hey, and why don't I just reach out to Diane Franklin since all the actors can't do anything because of COVID and see if she'll do the movie. So the filming, the feature to the end of the feature was like 2019 to 2021, but like the whole process, I guess, started in 2016.
So you had mentioned animals before and why people don't, why they haven't made that zombie film yet. So you have some touching moments. I'm guessing you are probably an animal lover.
My wife was getting into dog rescue, and she was reaching out, and we were just saying, we're not really ready to adopt a dog yet, but we want to help. We have a house here. There's our dog probably in a kennel somewhere. Why not let him live here? So they were like, well, why don't you take this pit bull that and I'm not proud of this. That's why I'm going to tell this story, because I'm hoping it'll help someone else. But they said, why don't you guys take this pit bull? And we both look at each other like, oh, pit bull, uh-oh. I mean, we've only, my wife's only had this Chihuahua. We've never had a big dog or a pit bull before. And so we take her anyway, and even though we had those lame thoughts, I'll go ahead and say them now, they were lame thoughts, and it was Sandy, who's in the movie, it was the best dog I've ever had. Sweetest, most well-behaved. There was a part, actually, in between scenes in the movie where we were in a park, and there was kids getting onto a school bus, and they actually made a line in front of Sandy, and they would pet her, she'd give them a kiss, they'd get on the bus. I didn't know that happened until later, but So it became important to me for the movie to try to at least help, because I was like, well, I know the stigma isn't true, so I want to try to show that, and that's kind of why I put Sandy in the movie as well, to show like sweet dog, very intelligent dog, and so that's kind of it. That's kind of why it was important to me to put the after credits scene.
All right. Now we're going to get to Diane Franklin.
Okay.
If that's okay. So, I'm sure you feel very fortunate to have landed her for that part. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing is she's just she's the don't meet your heroes trope. It was like, no way. She was so awesome and kind and nice and willing. I mean, she was kind enough to invest ideas for the character and improv. Most of the stuff she improved is in there.
Nice.
So just it was really cool because the actors I worked with are great, but to get to work with someone like her who's been in these awesome Hollywood films I've worked with over and over, and get to talk to her about her process and get her feedback on the film, and it was awesome.
We would sort of mention Fire Tiger earlier, but did you have a relationship with them prior to filming?
Yeah. So I didn't know them. I heard them in another indie film, and the song absolutely blew my mind. And I was like, these guys are so awesome. I mean, and then I just listened to their albums on repeat, and it was good I found them, because actually I found them around the time Sandy passed away, so they were like helping me grieve very much, their albums. And I even told Tiff that. I was like, I was like ugly crying to your sad songs, and I was like, you guys really helped me, when I met her at the premiere. Eventually I told her all that, but so I didn't know them. So that's one thing Diane always laughs at me about, because when hopefully this isn't annoying, I'm going to put in a little story here, but so I talked to Fire Tiger and I said, would you guys be interested in making a theme song for my film? And I sent them a trailer and art and everything, and said like Ghostbusters or something, like one of those awesome songs from the 80s I can put in the movie. And they were like, okay. And we negotiated that, and after a few months I got the song, and like I could not even sit still. I jumped up. I'm like, wow, So I was so excited, and secretly I've been thinking it'd be so cool to do a music video with them, like back in the 80s and 90s as well. So I reached out to them about the music video, and they were like, do you think Diane would be in the music video too? And I'm like, awesome question. So they ended up working it out amongst themselves, because they live out in sunny LA like you guys, Fire Tiger and Diane. So they met somewhere and shot the video, and this is the funny story Diane told me. So she said she met them and was like, so this is awesome. How do you guys know Jake? And they're like, we don't know Jake. How do you know Jake? She's like, he just reached out to me too. And so it's kind of just one of those things.
Yeah, the song Clay, Clay Zombies is awesome. It is very, like Neil and I were talking about it. It is very 80s, where it would have that pop song and then the video that would go along with it. So well done.
Yes. I was actually going to throw in at the end, I'm going to say it now. When the sequel starts planning, you have a couple actors that are ready to go.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
So
hell yeah.
I've been cast a couple times in an independent film.
You have.
And so, one of them hasn't come out yet. I was so good they haven't released it yet. But trying to edit around me, I suspect. But in this film, you kind of talk about vampires and werewolves, and you have like a mad scientist character. So in the Clay Zombie universe, is there like part 2? Is it going to maybe expand and be like all Van Helsing or something coming into it?
Yeah, that's kind of been the big debate, because the funnest part about Christoph is he crazy, or is anything he says true? So it's it's been kind of it's kind of been a mental struggle for me to go like, how crazy am I going to go with it? But I would say there is at least one real vampire in the Clay Zombies universe. Any other monsters, I've not decided, but there's a Dracula or something somewhere.
Nice. Well, Jake, we don't want to keep you forever since you are 3 hours ahead of us on the East Coast, as you say. But we do, if you could maybe tell everyone where they can find your film, how they can view it, how they can get the Blu-ray, which we have. So.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. Clay Zombies on Tubi. It's on other platforms as well. Plex, Zumo, if anybody uses that. It's on paid platforms too, Amazon Prime and Apple, but please don't pay for it. Just go ahead and watch it on Tubi. I just want you to have a good time. And if you like it on Tubi, or if you really like cult movies on physical media, really appreciate it if you pick it up on clayzombies.com. That's where you can get the Blu-ray. As far as the film goes, that's it. We're going to have a Christmas special coming out in December on YouTube, and I'll try to keep updates on that on the website as well.
Cool. That's awesome. All right. Yeah, keep us in the know so we can, we can keep everyone else out there aware of the Clay zombie apocalypse that is upon us.
Thank you. Yeah, if you guys are willing to, we'll either have to figure out like on remote roles for you guys, or if you're willing to fly out to Ohio. I don't know, but we'll get
coming
you
to Akron, baby.
Yes.
We'll make it. We'll road trip it, whatever it takes.
Yeah, I'll keep it in. It's in here. You guys are in.
All right, locked and loaded. All right, Jake, it's been fabulous talking to you. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Yeah, really, thank you very much.
Awesome meeting you guys. Neil, Caleb, Cult Show rocks. Thanks again. Don't touch the clay.
Don't touch it. You have a bad day.